So hey yo guys, in this video we are going to talk about chemical engineer as a profession in Australia. Let's start this video by talking about their roles and duties. They are professionals who design, supervise and prepare specifications for chemical process systems, operation of commercial-scale chemical plants, industrial processing and fabrication of products. One of the first thing we search about a profession is their pay scale, so that we can get an idea whether we can buy a mansion with a swimming pool in the backyard, or we gotta live in the basement of the creepy old man. So as a chemical engineer in Australia, you can earn from $57,000 up to $104,000 per year. This is the base salary, and it does not include bonuses or any other thing because it will just only complicate the numbers. Since we have talked about their salary now, it will be appropriate to talk about their average weekly wages now. So as a chemical engineer in Australia, you can earn up to $3,019 per week. Now let's talk about the data showing the educational qualification of the people employed as a chemical engineer in Australia. This data will be helpful for you to understand how much you should study, and how does just based on the education qualification, your chances of employment will be affected. 26.2% of the chemical engineer who are employed in Australia have done postgraduate studies, 64.7% of them have bachelor's degree, 2.6% of them have advanced diploma and rest about 6.5% of them have lower qualification than advanced diploma. From this data, we can interpret that bachelor's degree can be considered as a good starting point, but having a postgraduate educational qualification will open many more employment chances for you. Now let's move on and talk about the percentage of chemical engineer employed in different industries in Australia. 33.5% of the chemical engineer are employed in manufacturing, 23% in professional, scientific and technical services, 15.2% in electricity, gas, water and waste services, 15% in mining and 13.3% in other industries. Since we have talked about the industries in which chemical engineer are employed, now let's also see the data showing the percent of chemical engineer employed in different states. This data will be useful for you to understand which state in Australia could offer you better opportunities in comparison to others. In VIC, NSW, WA and QLD, majority of the chemical engineer are employed, which have 26.7%, 23.8%, 23.7% and 17.8% of chemical engineer employed respectively. The employment opportunities in SA, TAS, NT and ACT are 5.9%, 1.2%, 0.6%, and 0.3% of chemical engineer respectively employed in Australia. Now let's talk about the gender distribution in this profession. About 20% of them are female, while rest 80% are male. The percentage of chemical engineer working full-time in this profession are 89%, while others are working on part-time basis. On an average, a chemical engineer who is employed full-time works about 44 hours every week. Now let's talk about whether to work as a chemical engineer you need some kind of registration or not. So the answer is yes and no, meaning registration may be required in some states and territories. To be employed as a chemical engineer, following skills and knowledge is usually required by the employer. Knowledge such as engineering and technology, mathematics, chemistry, and physics. Skills such as critical thinking, operations analysis, and judgment and decision-making are usually required. Some of the college or universities offering such programs are the University of Sydney, the University of Adelaide, and Monash University. If you want to become a chemical engineer in Australia, you should be ready to pay about $20,000 to $30,000 on an average every year. If you have watched this video till here and have any doubts, please comment down below and I would love to make a video on it, or reply you. If you liked the video, do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you next time with more useful video. Bye.